Hi, Jakob. Welcome back. I'm wondering just sort of what you've taken overall from the time that you came back to Toronto to now. How have you felt that the team has developed, and sort of what are your expectations going into this season for the team as a whole?
I mean, I think we've made really great improvements, especially, I mean, I guess you could say, like, starting with the beginning of last year, like, has really been a turning point for us, where we've focused in on that style of play that we want to play with, where we're being super aggressive, and we've even added on to that this summer, just being even more aggressive on defense, like trying to get out there, play fast, like disrupt the opponents, and yeah, I think we've done a really good job with that. And then obviously our young guys, particularly like individually, like have improved a lot, and yeah, we're going to count on that in the future.
So we're going to go Ryan, and then John, and then back to Michael.
Right over here, yeah. Okay. How you doing? Obviously, you were in the West for a lot, so you got a good look at Brandon. What do you think he's going to bring to the team, and how do you think like he'll complement your game, you'll complement his game?
I mean, just like his individual skill as a scorer, I think is like obviously like the biggest thing that he brings us, like a true 3-level threat. Like you just get him the ball in almost any position, and like he'll make something good happen for you. I think that's what he really brings. But for a guy like that, what's unique about him is how much he's buying into our team style of basketball and like also defensive-minded basketball. So I think that's really cool to see. Seems to like really enjoy himself here so far, and yeah, I know we've had limited time together, like limited practice, but considering all that, we've actually developed some pretty quick chemistry out there. Me personally, and I feel like within that starting unit in general. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to actually testing it against other NBA teams.
So John, who's front row on your left there, yeah.
Hey, Yak, I've got 2 questions for you. The first is a follow on that and what you're just saying about the practicing with the starting 5. What has that been like in the past month, and what's maybe impressed you about that group, especially adding Brandon to the mix?
I mean, I think it's been good. Like it's very unique in a way where, like right now in practice, we're playing against like our own teammates, like young guys who bring a lot of energy, play our style of basketball, which not a lot of other NBA teams do. So I think I'm curious on like how the challenge is going to be once we play against teams that maybe play a little bit slower pace, that play a more traditional, I guess, like style of NBA basketball with individual guys that are going to come at you. So yeah, I can really only speak on what I've seen so far in practice, and I think what's impressed me is that how much everybody is bought into trying to figure out where everybody else likes to play or like wants the ball, or like what they're comfortable in. Like nobody so far seems to be going out there trying to like mark their own territory, be like, hey, this is how I want to do it. It's like almost everybody's asking the question like, hey, what do you want to do in this situation? So I think that's been really cool to see, and it speaks to how everybody's bought into trying to figure it out together.
And what are your expectations for the season?
I mean, I think there's been a very clear line for us to just attack this season and try to get back into a winning position. Like we've talked about this like development plan, and we knew it was going to be some down phases, but we also knew that we didn't want to be stuck in like a rebuilding phase for a long time. We wanted to do what's necessary, but then be a winning team again as soon as possible. And I think like the communication between us players and also with like coaches and front office has been very clear that everybody seems to be dialed in on like we want to win this now. So yeah, for us to be a winning team, we got to get back to the playoffs. I think that's like the obvious first step. We got to have one of those young team breakout years where we might surprise some other teams. And I think we have it in us, but we just got to show it on the court.
So we'll do Michael, who's down front and to your right, and then we'll do Tony, who's way at the back. Abby.
Jakob, I mean, you've had some reps with Emmanuel, but he was out of the lineup a lot last year, and you know, came over halfway through the year before. So how significant will it be for you guys to get 65, 70, 75 games from, kind of the most seasoned point guard on your team?
I mean, it'll be very important, yeah. And I think specifically our point guard, yeah, because he's like the guy that like leads our offense. Like he's the one that like has the ball in his hands naturally the most of the time. Even though we play a very team style of basketball, we need him out there to all like him getting used to how our offense is supposed to run, and the opposite way around as well. Us getting used to the way he plays, which I honestly think I have a pretty good natural feel for how he plays, and like our two-man game at least like has been pretty good. I felt at least really natural right from the beginning, so I'm not too worried about that. But obviously, like every minute out there counts. Like every minute we can spend out there together like adds a little extra bit of chemistry where like maybe a specific situation that we haven't seen before like comes up. So yeah. I think not just Quick, but everybody on the team. Like it would be great if we could just go through a season without major injuries, obviously. But specifically for us, when we're in this like developmental stage where we're really trying to grow together, we want to have all our pieces available.
So Tony, then Vivek, and then Eric up front.
Hi, Jakob. Yeah, this is going to be the third season of Darko in Toronto, and you are here since he took over as a coach. How much he has changed as a coach compared to his first year? Thank you.
I don't think he's changed that much, to be honest. He's kind of brought that fire, energy, and like passion right from the jump, and he's still doing that today. I think maybe like the coaches' like mindset in their game plan also has changed a little bit. It's also a different situation where early on we still had some veteran guys on the team, like a kind of the team that was trying to figure out, to where now we're like here with a young team that's on a clear path. And I think he's just trying to get the most out of everybody, like really trying to dial in that style of play and like getting everybody to give us 100% every night. And I think that's what's going to be necessary for us to be a good team. So yeah, I think that's probably the one thing I noticed the most.
So Vivek, then Eric, then Will, then Samson.
Hey, Jakob, just over here. I'm just wondering what your early impressions are of Brandon Ingram as a defender and what key elements you think he's going to add on that side of the ball.
Like I said, it's tough to say from a short or like a small sample size. I think what's really impressed me is, like I said, how much he's bought into it. For a guy that's maybe traditionally not somebody that's been asked to guard a lot of guys, maybe just like ask more of a spot-up shooter, guard more of a spot-up shooter out there or anything. Like he's really dialed into like our pressing, like being aggressive style of play. And I think his greatest skill on defense is honestly like he's good at anticipating where the ball is going and like using his length and stuff to be disruptive. I don't know if that's something he's done a lot in his career, but I think he actually has like the natural build and like instincts for it. So if he can tap into that, like, yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how it goes against other teams, because I don't know, we're almost so used to it by now, by having that pressure put on us. It'll be cool to see how other teams react to that.
Go ahead, Eric.
Hey, Jakob. Welcome back. I was wondering what went into the decision to extend, and also as you enter your 30s, what skills or traits do you think are most important to either retain, refine, or even add as you approach your 30s?
I mean, there's obviously like me signing or extending here in Toronto, like there's a lot of different things that are going into that kind of decision. I think the main things at the end of the day were the fact that I was comfortable in Toronto. I enjoy living here. I enjoy like my relationship with the team and the fans and all that stuff. And that the project was interesting to me. Like the team, like the way we were going, like it seemed like we put in a lot of hard work for us to now hopefully like see some of these this hard work pay off for us. So I think since I've been part of this like new Raptors process from the beginning, I really wanted to see how far we can take this team, and I think those two were probably like the main decisions. And as far as like my development, I don't think being 30 or like getting older really changes too much in my mindset there. Like I've always kind of had this approach of like just trying to get a little bit better every year. There's not really one thing I'm targeting that I want to get great at. Like if there's obvious weaknesses, then I'm going to address them. But in general, like I'm just trying to like get better what I already do, and then like add little things like on top of everything, like so just like improve the overall product, I guess, slowly but surely. And I'm going to continue doing that even like into my 30s.
And last one is Samson. Go ahead, Samson.
Hey, Yak, a little bit more specific. As you mentioned, the team, everyone kind of sacrificing to put another guy in a good spot. More specifically, you guys were so high in the league in elbow touches. You're obviously a big part of that. You did it in San Antonio, you did it here. Obviously with Scottie and Brandon, you're probably going to be placed elsewhere at some points in time. How do you feel about going into this season and kind of occupying a different space than you have in different seasons?
Yeah, I'm curious, honestly, like how all that's gonna pan out. Like, I don't think our spacing is gonna change that much in our offense in general. Like, obviously, there's gonna be sets where I find myself in different positions, and maybe particularly a guy like Brandon who likes to operate in like mid-range elbow area. Like, we're gonna try to get him the ball there a bunch of times. But really, when I get the ball in the elbow area, it's probably a different style of play, like more of a like connecting mindset, whereas Brandon, like we're trying to get him isolation situations. So yeah, I'm gonna try to continue to improve on that. But what was the second part?
How do you feel about, like, you might be in the dunker spot more often, you might be more of a finisher rather than setting screens and catching at the elbow. Like, how do you feel about that aspect of your game?
I mean, that's fine, honestly. Like me being in the elbow area was like an adjustment that team needed at the time, and what that could kind of made sense for the team's purpose. And I've played in pick and roll situations. I've played in dunkers. I've played from like top of the key as a connector. Like there's so many different situations. I don't think like where you put me is really like that big a difference maker. It's just how I can find my impact there. And yeah, I think being in a dunker spot is a fairly natural position for me, so I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Two more for you, Yak. First one from Will. Go ahead, Will.
Hey, Yak. Last season, the Raptors, I think first 40 games were like third from the bottom on defense, and then the last 40 games, you guys were like the third best team on defense. I'm wondering, when you reflect on that, what was the turnaround to, you know, the team getting so much better on defense, and how confident are you that you guys can sustain what you guys did in the second half of last season going into this year?
I think we tried to learn a new way of playing defense. Try to like be ultra aggressive, which a lot of guys like weren't used to. Like maybe in a way where like if only one guy out there is being ultra aggressive, then he might get beat, and we're actually almost looking worse than we would have been if we just played a little bit more solid. But trying to get that instilled into everybody so that everybody does it at the same time, and then we can be really disruptive, even when a guy gets beat, that the guys behind him are that much more aggressive as well, to where we can make up for some mistakes with just sheer effort. And then the positive side of that, like just being so disruptive to other offenses that they can't really feel comfortable in how they want to play, like just us setting the tone on how the game is going to go. So I think just learning that takes time. So I think that's why it looked better towards the end of the season than it maybe did in the beginning. And really everybody buying into it and getting used to that, and just like doing it on every possession, I think is also something that has improved. And yeah, I think naturally it's only going to become better and better, hopefully. Like the NBA is like constantly evolving, so there might be situations where teams start getting used to that, and then we're going to have to adapt again. But for now, I think we've played a very unique style of defense that's going to help us be effective on that end of the court.
Thank you. And last question to Gilbert, please.
Hey, Jack. With the addition of Sandro, can you talk about the skill set that you see in him and how he's going to help you improve the center position?
Say the last part again.
The center position, how he's going to help you improve on the center position, Sandro?
How I can help him improve, or? That's a good question. Honestly, we have different styles of play. Like he's more of like an undersized, stretch the floor. Like he makes good decisions out there. Like he's in a different way, like similar to how Kelly Olynyk and I had just different play styles that gives us different options out there on the court. I think he does it in a maybe a little bit more dynamic way. Yeah, I've constantly, like over these past couple of weeks, had conversations with him about not just improving him as an individual player, because I think he's a great player, but also how his play style fits into our offense or our defense, like whatever it may be. How he should approach, or like help him with my experience within this system, how like he can put himself into better positions, like really improve out there. But yeah, I think he gives us a really good look. Like I said, some variety out there, and yeah, I'm hoping he's going to turn out well for us.